Okay, we're talking movies, and I forgot the music intro. Oh well, we'll get it next time, or maybe we'll do an
Yeah,
outro.
that's alright.
We're talking movies. I'm Cakes. We're here with Swank. Let's get right into it. Swank, last movie you saw?
I watched a documentary called Manson, directed by Morgan Spurlock. It's all about men and body slash facial hair.
Wow, I haven't even heard of that. I'm a big Spurlock fan too.
Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, they executive produced it. They also, there's a funny bit where they go to a salon. I mean, they're walking into a salon right at the beginning of it, and so they're having conversations about what it takes to be a man, all sorts of stuff like that. And then it goes through chapters. The first chapter is mustache, and then it gets into the beard. So the mustache and beard stuff was what I found interesting because they followed one of the guys from Whisker Wars, that Jack Passion guy who's got an insanely long red beard. So they followed him because he went overseas to the European national whatever beard competition. So that stuff interests me. But then I got into weird stuff about wrestlers, hairy wrestlers having to shave their entire body before they go on stage, and having one guy had a friend of his that would have to come.
So don't eat supper while you're watching this movie?
Well, maybe not that part. And then I got into body, like hair products and stuff like that, and metrosexuals and all sorts of
manscaping.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I don't know. Like I said, the mustache and beard stuff was the best part about the movie.
So is this out on DVD now, or Netflix?
It was on Netflix.
Okay, interesting. Manson.
Streaming now. Manson.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, the last movie I saw, and I'm a little late in the game on this, but it's out on DVD now. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Maybe think it should have been called Tinker Whisper Soldier Yarn. I knew, thanks to my good friend Swank, I knew it was a little slow going in, and I was ready for it. I was ready to endure that. Generally I watch on a Sunday night. Generally I watch, like Masterpiece Theater or something like that on a Sunday night. So I'm used to, just having a nice, quiet, soft evening. And I couldn't understand a word they said. I felt like it was so quiet. Like if I would have felt that same way in the theater, I would have been pissed. I kept turning the TV up. I had the closed captioning on, or subtitles on, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I think I almost finished it. I did not finish it though.
It's worth finishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I warned you, it's a very, very quiet spy thriller. It's kind of short on the thrills, but the acting is phenomenal. If you could hear what they're saying, I guess.
Yeah, and I like a lot of the actors in it. I like Colin Firth, love Gary Oldman, Benedict Cumberbatch. He's very good. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it just was. I was extremely disappointed. Like I said, I knew it was slow going in, and it might have been one of those things too. I understand it's quite the book, so maybe if I had read the book or listened to the book or whatever beforehand, so I kind of knew what was going on, and maybe it would be a little bit easier to follow. But and I think that was kind of something that when it came out, I think it was expected to be pretty big, and I don't know, it didn't seem like it did much after it came out. So
Gary Oldman was nominated for best actor. I don't know what else was nominated for. I think it was just that. That's big.
Sure. That being said, I think that I really enjoyed the look of the film. I thought the makeup and stuff, and the mid 19th century, as they say, or mid 20th century, whatever, 1950s. I think they really dressed the part really well. But yeah, disappointed. I kind of feared that, but I just didn't anticipate it being that slow.
I warned you.
Another movie I watched over the weekend was Jeff Who Lives at Home. I enjoyed the film. Not exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of just maybe more of like a slapstick, funny, kind of slacker, funny type of film, and it was kind of serious, kind of
Charming.
A little bit, yeah. It was he's Jason Segel's kind of this slacker 30-something who lives with his mom and smokes a lot of marijuana and seems to have a lot of existential tendencies. You know, I enjoyed it. My wife didn't like it as much, so maybe the ladies won't like it. She just didn't think there was really a whole point to the movie. But I think I don't know. I think, you know, there was certainly a theme throughout the movie with the guy with the name Kevin and how he kept chasing that. I thought that was kind of interesting. You know, it wasn't what I expected, but you know, Ed Helms I thought did a very good job playing the jerk brother. Crashing his car, I thought that was pretty funny. Buys a brand new, very expensive vehicle right away in the movie and crashes it the same day. Not that it's really a spoiler alert, but it is pretty funny. So, what did you think of it?
I liked it a lot. I've been following those directors, the Duplass brothers, for a while. I think they've made 4. No, they've made 5 or 6 films now. Like Cyrus, Baghead, The Puffy Chair. They have another one that they call the Decathlon or something like that. But they've got their own distinct style. Like Luke and I were talking, they make it look easy. They make it look like, wow, anybody could do this. Anybody can just write a script and shoot it for a low budget and still make something out of it. So they've been a pair of directors that I will be watching closely in the near future.
Yeah, my wife did make a comment early on about the cinematography. It was kind of weird and a little shaky. Not necessarily shaky, but it was just kind of, they were doing some weird angles and it was kind of fuzzy early on. And
they do the quick zoom in all of their movies too.
Yeah.
Boom.
And they kind of, you know, the early on scene with Ed Helms and his wife, they're doing a little bit back and forth with the camera, almost a little bit too much. And you know, that's certainly not something I'm really turned off by, but it's also something I didn't necessarily recognize. So when I do recognize it, maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know.
They're known for, I guess, the cinematography, but they're not known for great cinematography by any means. So it's just kind of their shtick. I think it works for them.
Also not a big fan of Jason Segel, but I did enjoy his character. Like you said, he was kind of endearing in that movie. I don't know, I think whether you were somebody like that, or you are somebody like that, or you know somebody like that, you know, kind of a slacker in their mid to late 20s who smokes a lot of pot, you can maybe relate to that. You know, they're always kind of sitting down and looking at things from a different perspective, so to speak, not necessarily the right perspective, but a different perspective. And it's you know, whether it's, like I said, whether it's right or wrong or not, it's just kind of, you know, interesting to see something like that portrayed in a movie. And I think they did a really good job of making something like that, you know, realistic. You know, whether it be, I mean, I think, you know, whether it be, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I kind of felt during the movie that, like, it was going to be revealed that he was maybe had some kind of mental deficiency, like he was maybe schizophrenic or something. But I think it was really just, you know, the marijuana delusions. But
and he really likes that movie, Signs.
Yeah.
Which I found funny too.
I haven't seen that movie. I almost kind of want to watch that movie now because
awesome.
I kept talking about it. So. Did you happen to? I maybe shouldn't ask you this on camera or on tape, but did you happen to watch the new Office or Parks and Rec?
I did.
You did? Okay, very good, very good.
I like Parks and Rec a lot better than The Office.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would agree with that statement, but I also was pretty impressed by The Office. I mean, I think Parks and Rec is still, you know, the funniest show on TV, but I thought The Office was pretty good.
And they're gonna get into like a more serious tone, maybe.
With
The
Office.
I feel like a tearjerker is coming up. Like the
Yeah.
last couple episodes, just some of the stuff that they're setting up. But
Well, you feel like that Jim and Pam are gonna leave and do something and whatnot, and I don't know. It was a little hard not seeing Kelly there, but I thought it was a pretty good episode. You know, kind of typical Dwight silliness and Ed Helms. You know, the whole not anger management thing, but the retreat thing again, and you know, apparently David Wallace is back owning Dunder Mifflin again. So That was pretty interesting. But yeah, Parks and Rec was awesome. Of course, again, Andy, pretty much anywhere is funny, but Andy in Washington D.C. is pretty awesome. You know, Leslie, and rightfully so. She, Amy Poehler was nominated for an Emmy. Actually, the only Emmy nomination from that show, which was really surprising to me.
She didn't win.
No, she did not win. What's her name from Seinfeld won for the Veep. In that same category, I haven't seen that show, but good for her. Louise Dreyfus is her name. Sorry. Modern Family is also starting this week. Something I'm very excited for. They were nominated, I think, for 14 Emmys. Every single adult in that show was nominated for an Emmy. All the boys were against each other in a category, and the two girls were against each other too. So,
Awesome.
and Cam won. I forget his real name, and then Claire won. Excuse me, the mom, Claire, also won. So good for them, and rightfully so. The new episode looks to be pretty funny. They're gonna have a lot to live up to with a lot of those Emmy nominations, but pretty excited to see it. The new Mindy Kaling show also starts tonight, called The Mindy Project on Fox. Best luck to her, and I'm excited. I'm excited to watch it. So hopefully Fox can keep it going and maybe have some other interesting creative shows like that. So. Still no word on the Master coming to Sioux Falls.
No, we do get Looper finally.
Looper is opening Friday, so we're excited to see that. Also excited to see the Master if it ever shows up. Okay, to share with our audience what you emailed the Century Theater, is that correct? Or Century Productions?
Yeah, I emailed the Cinemark here in town and was wondering, because they had listings shown for, last week on Tuesday they had a listing showing for Friday for the Master to come through, and Wednesday and Thursday I checked again and it wasn't there anymore, and by Friday, nope, there were no more show times listed. But I emailed him and just said, hey, I couldn't help but notice that there was show times a couple days ago, and he emailed me right back, and he said, I apologize, no one's more bummed than me, but there was a booking mishap, and hopefully we'll get it by next week.
Seems a little bit like management speak, but that's cool that he emailed you right back.
He did thank me for being a loyal patron to the theater.
Very cool, very cool.
I thought it was nice that he emailed me right back, but here's hoping maybe Friday. No Showtime listings yet.
Well, and there's also another company in Sioux Falls called Cinema Falls who have been really working hard to get independent stuff into Sioux Falls. They're actually doing a screener next week maybe that's tonight, either tonight or next Tuesday, of an Ethan Hawke movie at the Carmike. So
I think it's tonight.
That's pretty cool. It's only screening in 8 states, I believe, and South Dakota's one of them. So if we go out there and keep supporting independent organizations like that, maybe Sioux Falls will start getting these more independent movies, whether it be at the big theaters or if we ever get the State Theater open up downtown. So, like I said, if we go out there and support those kind of things, hopefully we can get those type of things here more often.
I know we'll get that other one. It's just a matter of time. I'm sick of waiting.
Yeah. What do you got? You got any movies on queue that you think you're gonna watch this week, so we can maybe tease a little bit for next week? I think I'm gonna watch Snow White and the Huntsman at some point in time this week. I know we talked about that already, but I'll be happy to give you my take on it. And I'm also gonna watch the Johnny Come Lately comedy, What to Expect When You're Expecting. I have that in the old pipeline and ready to watch too. So I'm
Good luck with that one. I'll probably watch The Avengers.
Oh yes, that comes out today.
That comes out today. I'll probably watch it I'm semi-curious about it, so.
Yeah, it looks a little cheesy to me, but I maybe I could watch it so my son can watch it too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we have for you today. Talking Movies is a division of Metal Fraker Productions. You can find us on Facebook at METALFRAKER. Thank you and have a good day.